Today I'm going to show you the use of an inline moon clip deloading, unloading, or demooning as they sometimes call it, tool. Now these tools are specific to both the caliber of the cartridge and also the number of cartridges that the moon clip is designed for. So for example, even though I've only got 4 cases here because that's all I could, 6 cases is all I could find, this is an 8-round Smith & Wesson N-frame type 357 moon clip, and so for this you need the specific inline loading unloading tool for that. If you had a 7-round one, which I'll show you in a minute, you need a different tool. So I'm just going to put the camera in on a tripod to be able to do this. So today I'm going to talk about unloading moon clips for revolvers. Now this refers to both those which are designed for rim cases like the 357 Magnum one shown here. They're in the minority really. Most moon clips are designed for cartridges such as 9mm, 45 ACP and possibly 10mm rimless cases, but the concept is the same really. Now you can get loaders that load moon clips that make it a lot easier to load them, although you can just load them by putting the case on and pushing down on it, clicking it in, making sure that you're not flexing the moon clip. However, when it comes to unloading them, it can be a bit trickier. For a moon clip to work properly, the tolerances have to be right so that it actually holds the tape. In fact, these are probably a little bit loose. This is a 0.22 of an inch moon clip. These cases are Winchesters. They tend to have the bigger rims. We possibly could even go up to a 25,000 for these. But yeah, they have to be tight to work, and so then they're hard to get out. So if you're trying to use your fingers or using pliers or something, you're liable to either damage the case body or maybe bend the rim on the case, or even worse, bend your moon clip, and then it will be non-functional. So I'm going to show you the correct way to use an inline moon clip unloading tool. So now I'm going to just see if I can move the camera closer like that. Oh, there we go. So this is an 8-round moon clip, even though it's only got 6 in it, but it is an 8-round one, and this is the correct 8-round moon clip unloading tool. So what you do is you put it on the top there. Now it's designed so that as you twist it, just takes the case out like that. See the actual stress on the case is down the whole length of the case. There's no one spot where you're putting your stress, and so you can unload them very quickly. These loaders are actually designed so theoretically you can actually hold them in your hand and do it, and the cases fill up the thing, you know, if you want to do it really quickly. But I don't really ever bother doing that. I just kind of do it like this. Alright, so there's a 8-round one. Alright, now this is an 8-shot 9mm for the Smith & Wesson model 929 and others. N-frame design. Now you use the same 8-shot as we did for the 357 Magnum. It's just a function of the actual diameter of the thing and where the actual thing pushes against the clip. So you just see it's just pushing on the right in the centre of the end of that clip. Now you can see this, it's pretty small, that if you don't put the pressure in the right spot, by using some dodgy pair of pliers or something. You know, you could easily bend those little things, and by the same means, if you don't put pressure evenly on the case, you know, you're going to twist the case and either bend that or bend the rim or damage the case. Now, so what I'm going to do now is use these cases out, by the way, are just licorice all sorts that I found on the range. They're all different types, so they're not any one type. So I'll now get a 7-shot one, and I'll show you unloading that. So here we've got a 7-shot. It's happened to be nickel plated, this one, but it's the same thing. Now, if we use this same one that we're using before, you can see it actually doesn't put pressure on the center of the, puts it on the edge. You really want to put your pressure on the center of the little side of the clip. So it's having trouble focusing that, it's a bit of a pain really. So the actual one that you use for these looks very similar. This one's a bit shorter, which probably doesn't make a difference, but just it's a slightly smaller diameter, the actual tubing. So when you put it on, you can see the actual. The other one was putting the. I mean, it might have still sort of worked, the other one, but you may bend your thing. Whereas this one's putting the pressure right in the centre of that little bit there. So as you pop it off, there we go. We'll use it like it's supposed to be used, even though I never do that. So they disappear down into the guts of it. So there we go. So very little pressure is required. So you're just not going to bend your clip by doing that, because all it's doing is putting pressure against the edge of that, like at a 90-degree angle, so it's not going to bend that, and then evenly putting pressure against the case and pulling it out.